I've got superpowers, you've got superpowers too. I'm not more special, right? I'm not more special than you. And what I like to do is I like to show you your own superpowers. And I like to but guide you how to create a business that's in line with your superpowers. And then you get to make money out of that. Who wants to do that? That sounds really fun, right? And this is manifesting. So manifesting is not like some spiritual lotto that one day you just win the lotto and it's like, oh yes, I manifested $1 million. Look at me. I sat on my hill with my crystals singing Kumbaya, now I'm a millionaire, right? There's some strategy. There's strategy. You got to follow the strategy. But also with the strategy, you can amplify your results by tapping into the energy and the frequency of the wealth and abundance that you want to create. So manifesting is it's your soul's recognition of what was already destined to come your way. So if you desire something, if you want something, that's your soul going, I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that one day. So you've got to follow it. So this is your internal guidance system, right? And this is how emotions relates to your energy, your frequency, right? Emotions is the driver. It's the compass, because your emotions will tell you which way to go, right? Even when who's heard of the term triggered? Who likes to get triggered? Who gets triggered? I get triggered every day.
Oh,
Triggered. Triggered. Have you been triggered? When did you I was triggered today. I was triggered driving up next to John today in a car. I'm getting triggered. Right? But my internal guidance system will always direct me. It's a compass. It's okay to be triggered. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel shame and guilt. It's okay, because we have to tap into that emotion and let it be expressed. If you're pushing it down and pushing it away and you're trying to ignore it and you're trying to just, go away eventually, guess what? It won't. It won't. And if you want to manifest money into your life, you got to do that through emotional regulation. Emotional regulation. That's where the frequency is at. Because money is just an energy. It's just a frequency. It's a vibration as well. It's an energy. Money is an energy. And the energy will go, for money, is the path of least resistance. So if you set up really awesome systems and foundations and structures for your money to come into your business, you've got your Stripe, you've got your accounting software, you've got... I do all of that. Do all of that. Set it all up. Path of least resistance. It will open and it will flow. But it's only going to flow to you if your internal guidance system is feeling aligned. Right? So how do we do that? You can tell. I did this exercise once and it triggered me. Right? Someone asked me, how are you feeling? And I feel good, thanks. Good. How are you feeling? Awkward? Just talking in front of people? Feel a bit awkward? How are you feeling now? Comfortable. How are you feeling now? How are you feeling now? It changes constantly. We just got to give it the awareness. And that was so powerful, right? Just from the awareness of meeting yourself at the emotion. So from that exercise, you can see where their default is, because we'll have default emotions. Like when we don't know what to feel, we'll just go to a default emotion. And generally, you can tell on the spectrum where they're at based on their default. So then what I like to do is come in and with a little bit of magic and some crystals and some sage, some ceremony, some ritual, some powerful intention, raise that vibration, right? So the key to manifesting is trusting that internal guidance system that your soul knows. Your soul knows. Your soul knows. You ever meet someone and you're like, that person, I know you. We've been in a past life, haven't we? I know you. Right? You ever get that feeling? Right? You just know. It's like you know someone. Right? Your soul knows. That's a soul's recognition. When you follow that recognition, that's where the magic is. So we've got to get comfortable. We've got to get comfortable with the emotions. We've got to get comfortable with learning what is that guidance system and, leaning into the edges. Being triggered, being curious. Not wronging yourself. There is no wrong. Everything you choose is your choice. You get to choose. This is the opportunity. Right, so spirit will leave breadcrumbs. I love the breadcrumbs. Oh, there's always like this beautiful big house made of lollies, right? Hands on the cradle. Yeah, the breadcrumbs. It's beautiful, right? And when you get in tune with yourself, you can start to see the breadcrumbs, right? I have someone at the moment, and because I am a psychic and an energy healer, I do see things. I can tap into people's energy and I see what's around them, and I can see what's coming in, what's leaving, what's possible. In the accounting world, there's entities, companies, trusts, entities. I see entities. I see entities. But the good kind. So I like to, tap in and have a look, create. Now, he wanted me to just tell him what his business is and what he should be doing and what he should be, And this is probably a key point here. Maybe you could write it down. If I just told him what his business is, do you think he'd do it? He might do it. But if I just told him all the answers, if you had all the answers right here and right now, and you knew what your business was, what the strategies was, what you were going to sell, you had all the answers. Would you do it? Yeah. I tell you, running an accounting practice for nearly a decade. I started as a bookkeeping practice, and then as I progressed, went into accounting, sold my soul to the devil. Got out. Got out of jail free. So what was I saying? I don't know. Anyway, mustn't have been. This is what happens. It comes and it goes. I forgot.
You were saying, what if you had all the answers?
If you had all the answers. Right. So what I make now in my business with, how many people have I got? 3. We've got 3 full-timers, myself included. So 2 people plus me. When I had my accounting practice and it was more like a brick and mortar type, come into the office and everyone's got their cubicle and we do the meetings and the clients come to us and it's great. Boring. I do more now with 2 people than I did with 7. And probably a lot of that has to do with technology, so I won't discount that. But one thing changed. Right? It was when I actually tapped into who I am, my essence, and I followed my soul's calling, and I followed my internal guidance system, and I was like, you know what? There's never been a spiritual account before, but I'll go first. I'll do it. And my business exploded beyond belief. So much so that it exploded so much that it actually crumbled because I didn't have the systems and foundations in the inside to hold it, right? So it's really important to have the systems and foundations. And this is the balance between the masculine and the feminine, having the structure and then the flow. It's always a balance, a harmony. The key point, following your internal guidance system and not needing to have all of the answers, not needing to know every little detail. Most of the clients I work with are so fixated on the details. I'm like, dude, let the magic happen. Right? So I could tell him his business, but he would not go on the journey to find his own magic. You know, and because I have a healing modality that I do with people, and we go through the chakras, and it's a thing. Everyone's creating modalities now, it's awesome. But you know, he's like, he wants to speed the process up. Come on, let's get to the strategy. I'm like, I ain't giving you no strategy until we go through your chakras. We've got to clear your pipes. Because all the best strategy in the world will crumble underneath you if you are not aligned. If you're feeling resistance, if you're feeling resentment, if you're feeling anger, if you're comparing, you know, like pedestaling other people. Oh my God, look at them. They're amazing. No one is better or worse. You have got the same amount of gift and talent as the person sitting next to you as me. No one is better or worse. We're all divine beings of light. And what I like to do is help people see that. Help people see that. So, I think that feels about good. Is that 20 minutes? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm in time, not on time.
But that's good.
In time, not on time.
When you're done, you're done.
Thank you. All right.
So before I get everybody up for a quick panel chat, something I really want to just tap into is, I suppose, my take on money. And as a coach, and particularly a family constellations facilitator, what I'd like to touch in on is you've been marinating in a mindset of money since before you were born. And if you're not going to look at that, then you're going to essentially have that taste in your mouth all the time, even against potentially your own will. Who knows what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's like growing up, how mum and dad talked about money, or how the family unconsciously felt about money. It's present. And for those, there are some people in the room who have been undertaking my coaching certification program. They understand this is 7 generations back, coming all the way forward, and as an act of love, you're just following the rules. Not because you're stupid, not because you're broken, because you belong in a constellation and you're a very important piece. But what we fail to acknowledge is that we stand on the shoulders of the generations who precede us with the intention from them that they would have suffered so that we don't. Any parent wants more for their children, true or not true. Hands up if you're a parent in the room. You're like, I want everything for my child. My child is raising her hand, smartass. That's what I love about my kids. Damn straight, baby, you can have it all. But the point is that that's the truth of the matter. And sometimes we bear burdens in the hopes that it will save others. But what happens is the children are watching. They're watching us bear these burdens and they go, oh wow, I love you, so let me do it just like you. Or let me try save you. And it kind of messes with the system, if I'm honest, and it's actually easily fixed, but that's a constellation's consideration. What I want you to drop into right now is, what is your current reality around money? Actually, are you struggling with money? You don't have to say it in the room, but just in your head. Are you like, money and I are sweet, we're good, we're making gains, we're going strong? Or are you like, there's never enough? Because the results tell the story. You are so powerful that your results are manifesting all of the other stuff. Does this make sense? Is this landing? So if we're wondering what stories we're carrying, look at your results. That's the stories you're carrying. Because you are holographically projecting into your reality that which you contain within you. So if you have something going with money, and I had a generational situation around unfairness, right? Something I carried through the maternal line. Because I come from a family of displaced Russians and then displaced immigrants. And so they had unfair lives, and as an act of love, I too will have unfairness, even though I have an amazing capacity to create money, to get shit done in life. Very heavily in my masculine in my youth, and that's a different conversation, but the point simply being that any opportunity I had to cut a line straight down the middle, I would give more. Not because that was a smart thing to do, but because my system, in my family system, it left me innocent. People around me thought I was crazy in a divorce that was not, by the measure of society, my fault. However, we all know that all things are cosmically created, yes? And it ultimately was a service to us both. But even in a divorce where I could have taken him to the cleaners, he got more by my choice. Everyone around me thought I was crazy, and I don't say that to impress you or to make you think, wow, Marina's actually a fucking idiot, or any of these things, but actually to share with you that at the time I didn't realize I was under the spell of my lineage. So look at your results. If you go back and you're like, oh yeah, I gave them more, or I pay more, or I'm always supporting them and them and them and them and them, and there is a stigma in our society that women, get provided for. But that's a very old story, and then to counterbalance it, because here's the paradox of the way we live life, there are a lot of women in this room who have never taken $1 from a man and have never been provided for, and yet we still carry that guilt. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's very muddied waters. But like all muddied waters, when we sit with it a while, and when we stop stirring up the currents, what happens? It settles and it gets clear, and then we can make our way. So, what's your current relationship? Look at your results. Notice your emotions around money. What are your current emotions around money? Are you currently stressed? Are you currently stuck? Like, what's the energy? What's the primary energy? Get curious about that. Because is it true or not true that someone else in this room or in the world has a very different relationship to money? And they're not smarter, they're probably not even a different age, they potentially have had the same opportunities. So remember, if it's possible for anyone, it's possible for you. And in the times when you feel stuck, look for that evidence, because the only reason it's showing up the way it is because of the belief cycle you have around belief, evidence, belief, evidence. It's not available for me, it's got to be this way, and then you make it so, and so it is. It's the only reason it's showing up the way it is, guys, because you're so freaking powerful. Congratulations. And if you want it to change, you get to choose that too. So that's all I really wanted to say. I mean, I'd love to talk more about it. I could talk endlessly about constellations and belief structures around money. But it can be really valuable to sit down and, like John gave you homework, look at what did I learn from mum and dad about money? It's available, or it's not enough, or it's, was there a guilt relationship there? Look into that. And are you happy with those rules, or do you want to write your own? And then are your behaviors reinforcing the rules? Most likely, yes. Because we're all very good students to our rules. We'll uphold our own rules of rightness, really, before, the loss of our lives. We'll defend them to the ends of our time, which is why your flexibility around your beliefs is, I believe, the greatest tool, if you will, in your transformation. Get flexible, be willing to be wrong. Could it be easy? Could it be easy to make money? Could I leverage my time? Absolutely. What if it all went your way? How would you have it be? Be really brave to dream it big, because it's available to you. It's just your conditioning, your experience, which are only based on your beliefs, and your systemic, societal, suit that you're swimming in that is telling you otherwise. But again, I ask you, is someone else having a different reality? Yes. So it's available to you.